What's up, guys? Alex here, and I'm going to talk about the announcement that was made on Thursday night about the team owners for season five. First of all, I'll start with Lotus. Mr. Tazo is going to stay as team owner, and I think for season five he's going to have to make a few changes. I don't think he'll make any changes to League Two. I think it'll be him and Goldie, as it has been this season. But there's lots of rumours going around about season five. Um, Joe is looking set to leave the team, um, with Fossey staying. Um, this looks like a good team for Bowie to go to from Mercedes, um, but nothing is confirmed, and everything I'm saying is just rumours. But I think Fozzie will stay. I can't see him leaving. I think he gets on well with Taz and Goldie, and he's definitely been their best driver in League One this season. No disrespect to Joe, I just think um, I know both of them have had a bit of bad luck, but Fozzie still seems to be showing pace to be up there. If he can make it stick, especially the starts. I know he's losing a lot of races from the starts. But yeah, I think there's potential there for either Bowie, maybe maybe JG. I'm not sure. I've heard that he might not be staying at McLaren for season five. Um, but I think it'll probably be Bowie that goes to Lotus. Next up, we've got the Ferrari team, and F1XL Linz is going to stay as team boss. Season four's not been a great season for Ferrari. They were looking to be a really good title contender, but I think a mix of bad luck and just the being outdone by a couple of teams has hindered their progress. Um, but looking into season five, as everyone already knows, Matty has left the team. He's leaving. League Two, they will. I think they'll stay the same. I can't see Linz making a change there. I think season four has been a really good season for them to kind of come together and work really well as a team, and now they're really working well as a unit. And I think season five could be their season. In looking into League One, Linz has got to obviously bring a replacement in for Matty, and again this could be a good team for Bowie to go into. I'm mentioning Bowie a lot as I believe that he's going to be leaving the Mercedes team for season five. Um, but also again JG. I know Linz wants to bring in a driver that he gets along with, and he gets along with both of those drivers. Um, I can't see him bringing in anyone else, to be honest. I'm just trying to think. I don't think he'll sign Joe. Um, I think I think it might be JG. I think JG might go from McLaren to Ferrari. That's just what I think. But again, nothing I say has been confirmed. Um, I think Linz will probably be a bit disappointed that Matty's leaving the team, as he's been their star driver this season. But I think he wants to go on to be a team owner and lead a team. And that's what he's decided. I think Linz has been very respectful and let him go. Um, so yeah, I think Lotus might sign Bowie, and I think Ferrari might sign JG. Um, Moving on to McLaren, Linders is going to stay as team owner. Um, Very disappointing season for them. They've been they've been hampered by disconnects left, right, and centre. I think Linders has really shown some good pace this season, but how many races he actually finished, I don't know, but it can't be many. Um, JG came in at Christmas, and so far he's got some decent points for the team. But I think he's on his way out. Um, I really have no idea who Linders will be signing for season 5. Um, Again, it could be Bowie, um, but I don't think so. I think Bowie's going to Lotus. Um, could be Joe. Could well be Joe. Going from Lotus to McLaren. Um, Other than that, I'm not sure. Rumours have it that McLaren have already made a deal with their future driver. So um, I'm sure we'll find out who that is towards the end of the season. But yeah, I think if Linders can get his connection under control, I think I can't see him making any changes to League Two. I forgot to add that in. Old Earl's shown some good pace, um, and so has Gladiator. Maybe Linders might make a change for Gladiator if he's got the budget. I think Gladiator's been involved in a few incidents this season, and he hasn't. I wouldn't say he's delivered a good enough performance to secure his seat at the McLaren team. But time will tell. Moving on to Force India, and TMD Fruit Loops has taken over the team from JG's departure over the Christmas transfers. I know he's been after a lot of drivers, and he's made no secret of that. In League 2, at the moment, they've got Pikey and Tuna. Personally, I think he might be trying to replace Pikey, who's not had a great season. Tuna's been on fire and is now, favourite to finish in the top 3 for League 2. But I think Tuna's going to be a big target for a lot of teams. That's if he doesn't get promoted to League 1, because I know he wants to stay in League 2, and he has no intention of going to League 1. So I think a lot of teams will be after him if they can get him. In terms of League 1, obviously Fruit Loops will be staying, and if he gets the job at McLaren, he will be racing every week, so he'll be one to watch. In terms of his replacement, his teammate, sorry. At the moment it's Delta, but I don't think Delta will be staying at Force India for season 5. I think there's 2 drivers that could go in this role, and that's Joe and Bonta Bullets. I'm really not sure where Joe's going to go. He's got to weigh up his options, because I don't think he's going to be at Lotus for season 5. I think Taz will want to bring in a driver who can bring in more consistent, higher points. But this could be a good move for Joe. I think Fruit Loops and Joe could bring in some decent points every weekend, and really bring Force India back up to where they should be, because at the moment they've had a dreadful season. As I say, this could also be a potential move for Bonta Bullets, who I believe won't be staying at Mercedes either. I think big things are going to happen to Mercedes, which is why I'm going to leave them to the end. I think Bonta might go to Force India too. He's not had a great season as Bonta. He started off as Toro Rosso team owner, stepped down, hadn't really scored many points, but when he had scored points, he scored pretty big points, like his podium at Hungary, and again his podium at the most recent race, Silverstone. I think if he can work on his consistency, Bonta will be a good driver. Not saying he's a bad driver. I just think he's not very consistent, and I think at the moment though, I think he's doing pretty well. He's catching Joe up in the championship, and if he can continue to score points, I think he could well overtake Judas. So we'll see how that goes. So I think there's two options there for Fruit Loops. I think Bonta might be the guy who goes into that seat, but I think it's between him and Joe. Next on, we've got Williams. Mikey's staying as team owner. I think League Two, he'll obviously stay in League Two. Now there's going to be a bit of a change around here, I think, for Williams. I think Zygon's going to stay at Williams, but he's being promoted to League One, I believe. I think it's between Speed and Swain to stay in the other League One seat, and I really couldn't tell you who it's going to be. I think Swain will be a target for a lot of teams because he's doing so well in the Championship and he's showing great pace. But then again, Speed's no slouch. He's only driven a couple of races and he's really shown that he can score pretty decent points every race. He looked very quick at Singapore and he was hot on Lindsay's tail. His tail on at Silverstone. So maybe Mikey can keep Swain and have Zygon partner him, or he might keep Speed. I think personally that it might be Speed that stays at that team and partners Zygon, and I think there'll be a very competitive side. In terms of League Two, I have no idea. I have no idea who Mikey will put into that seat to partner him. It could be anyone, couldn't it? Really, it depends who's trying to move. I think potential targets will be. 2 seconds. Let me just get it up. I think potential targets. Who could he bring in? Well, as I said earlier, F1 XL Gladiator might be leaving McLaren, and he might go to Williams. But I think Mikey might want to bring in someone who can score big. So he might be after the Taffman if he can bring him in, who's currently second in the League Two Championship on 163 points. He's a fair way off Zygon now, but the season's not over yet. I think Taff will be a target for a lot of teams. He's had a splendid season in League Two after dropping down from League One. Excuse me. Yeah, I think also he may even sign F1 XL Keith, whose future at Mercedes is uncertain. So yeah, Mikey's got a lot of thinking to do. I think he's got a good choice of League One drivers. Because either way, if it's Swain or Speed, it's still going to have a good side. But in terms of League Two, I think he's got a bit of work to do to find out who he can sign. Next up, we have I think I'll choose now to say that Toro Rosso, the mighty Italian team, the Purple Missile, is being withdrawn from F1 XL for Season 5, and I think you'll all agree that this is a very sad time for that team. The Purple Missile, it's been a splendid car to drive, I can tell you that now. Superb. Brought a tear to my eye when I found out that the old bird is being retired. But there's nothing you can do about it. And Sauber come in as the replacement, and the Season 3 champion, F1 XL champion, is going to be the team owner of that team, and he has a few options. He's pretty much having to build a team, so I think for League Two, I think he might try and bring his colleague at Red Bull, Crazy David, who personally I think has done a really good job for Red Bull in League Two, carrying the Red Bull team almost in the League Two Championship. Um, then to partner him, he might bring the Taffman, who can then come up from the sister team Toro Rosso to join the big boys. For League One though, a lot of people will want to be partnering Jam because wherever Jam is, you've got a good chance of winning the championship. He's been in a class of his own most of this season. He's had a bit of a shaky time in the past few weeks, but he was back on the top step of the podium this week at Silverstone, so it was clearly just a blip. To partner him, he might bring in Clarkey, his current teammate at Red Bull, who came up from League Two after winning the championship in season 3, and has shown that he can really race with the top guys in League One. And I think Clarkey's definitely a driver Jam will be looking at. Team boss of Toro Rosso, myself, Alex. There's a chance that he might sign me. Who knows? I'm not going to tell you what's going on there because, well, there isn't much to tell you about. So, yeah, I think I might be a potential driver for there, but who knows? I'm sure Jam's got it thought out who he wants to sign. So, yeah. There's also a chance he might sign Swain. As we know, one of the League One Williams drivers is leaving, and Swain and Jam together would be an almost unstoppable force. I think there's your championship team right there, maybe Jam and Swain. So who knows? Time will tell. Next on, we've got Red Bull, who is now being run by Thunderstorm, the reserve driver for this season. I'm happy that Thunderstorm's got the position, to be honest, because I mean he doesn't like to cover it up. He's not got great pace, but he's stuck at it as a reserve driver for quite a long time now in F1 XL, and he seemed to be enjoying the racing, even if he is at the back. But yeah, he's been very patient and stuck it out, and now he's got a team owner position, which I think is really good for him. Means he'll be able to race every week, and with the more racing you do, the better you get, I suppose. Practice makes perfect. So I'm sure he'll catch up to the rest of the League Two Championship sooner or later. Now again, like Jam, he's gonna have to kind of build his own team. To partner him in League Two, he could choose Keith. As I say, Keith again his future at Mercedes is uncertain. So, he might go to partner Thunderstorm. I'm sure they'd work well together. He might try and sign a bigger driver, say Dave or Taff, but I think they'll be going to some of the bigger teams. No disrespect to Thunderstorm, but there's some established teams out there that will be looking to sign the big drivers, and this is a brand new team. But League One, two drivers that are on their way out, Joe and Bonta. I still think Joe's going to Fruit Loops' Force India team, but if not, Red Bull could be a potential move for him. To partner him, it's hard to tell really. If Thunderstorm's lucky, he might be able to sign Joe and Bonta, and that would be a decent team for League One. but I'm not sure how many League One drivers are really on the market now. I mean, um, from what I saw in the chat box earlier, I don't think he's interested in signing me. So thanks for that, Thunderstorm. But yeah, just going down the list now. Jam's team owner Swain might be staying at Williams, might be going to join Jam at Sauber. Matty, we'll get onto him soon. Bowie, I think, could be going to Lotus. Myself, I might be going to Jam's team. I might go elsewhere. I don't know. I am looking for a drive at the moment. Sign me. Fruit Loops is team owner of Force India. Fossey, I think, staying at Lotus. Clarkey potentially going to Sauber. Linz is staying as team owner of Ferrari. Judas is one of the free agents, I think, for the season, as well as Bonta Bullets. JG might be going to Ferrari. And then you've got Madman. He might try and sign Madman, who's currently injured. Madman's going to be a free agent now that Toro Rosso has been disbanded. And then you've got Speed, and you've got Linders, who's team owner of McLaren, and you've got Speed, who's staying at the Williams team. I think. And then it's all really guys that have left the championship, or drivers that have just come in. So he might sign Delta. Delta might be good to go there. And then I think the biggest new team owner for season 5 has got to be the move of Matty going to Mercedes. Now Matty's very popular guy on the F1XL website, and I'm sure a lot of drivers would want to sign for him. So I think Matty's kind of got the pick. I don't think Joe will be going there. I'm not sure whether Bonta will or not. I know Matty said earlier on in the season that if Bonta could achieve these targets that he'd set, then he'd join the team. Could be a move for me if I can get on Matty's good side. I'm looking for a drive. So as I say, a lot of the some of the teams I think are going to stay put with their drivers. I did apply for the Ferrari position, but I think Linz has already made his mind up who his driver is going to be, and I think it's JG. Matty, I think he could choose. He could try and get Swain in. He may even try and take Fossey away from Lotus, but I think Fossey's staying put. So there's going to be a lot of interest in Mercedes for the rest of season 4 and going on to season 5 when the drivers are announced. It just depends if he's got the budget, I suppose. League 2, I think he might target Taff. Might target Tuna. I think Tuna would be a great catch for the Mercedes team. And I think maybe Crazy Dave, Tuna and Crazy Dave in a team together, I think would be good. I think that would be a good match. But the way I see it is Keith is going to stay at Mercedes. But, and there is a big but, I think he has to really perform well, otherwise Matty's going to replace him. That's why I've been suggesting Keith to go to other teams, because he's had a bit of a disappointing season 4. So whether he can actually really pick up the pace and score decent points for Mercedes in season 5, if he can't, then he'll be gone. That's the way I see it. I think it's going to be. I think Matty's going to have to really run the team quite harshly to try and really push for the championship, because I don't think he's going to want to be out of the top 3 at all. So Could be Tuna and Dave, maybe someone else. I know Dave wanted to be a team owner, but unfortunately didn't get the position. So it might be him and me, maybe in the Mercedes in season 5. I can only hope, because I think that would be a great position for me. Um, I know I've not had the greatest of seasons. The beginning of my season was mainly focused on the incidents that I was causing, and I hold my hands up. It wasn't great, but it was a learning curve. I think I've really made an effort to try and get better at wheel to wheel racing and avoiding contact, and I managed to get a few podiums on the way and my first win, 2 pole positions. I think I was very unfortunate in Silverstone. Gutted. I really was gutted when I disconnected. But I can only feel sorry for Linda's, who's that's happened to, way more than me. That's happened to me twice. It's happened to Linda's nearly every race, so I can't complain. Happens to all of us. But yeah, I think there's going to be it's going to be an interesting time now from now to the end of the season, to see who can sign who with these new team owners. And I look forward to speaking to you after the driver announcement for season 5, and we'll see if any of the predictions I've made have come true. I highly, who knows. So that's it from me for now. So thanks and goodbye.